Clicking on this video, you might be unsure of what it's about. Perhaps I could have named the video something more user-friendly or candid, like my experience owning a V-dub in New Zealand, or car troubles as a young man, or don't buy a fucking V-dub. I prefer the poetic title, so that's what we'll go with. In saying that, car or clarity is a perfect way to summarize my experience owning my V-dub Polo. I purchased this car 2 years ago for $4,000 with it having 134,000 Ks, a new Waffen radio, a cracked windshield, a broken boot, fucked seatbelt, and it not having any tools in case of a flat tire. Because V-dubs are so cool, they come with a unique key that is needed to remove one of the special bolts on the wheel. So my car didn't come with this, of course, but hey, I didn't know to check, and hey, it looked cool. Unfortunately, I did not have a wise word when buying the car, and in the end, it left me to learn many things the hard way. Fast forward 4 months to my first problem encounter, and first encounter with shit mechanics. The problem was a faulty ignition coil, or according to the mechanic, 2 of them. I was charged $450 for the replacement of 2 ignition coils, and a few months later I changed the spark plugs in the car myself and came to find only 1 of them was new. So yeah, boom. Anyway, a few months later I failed my warrant of fitness and need to get a new windshield, so minus $900. What's funny is I saw the chip in the windshield when I bought it. I just thought to myself, doesn't matter, does it? 3 months later, I had a wiring problem where my car would just randomly die and not start, but me being the risk taker that I am, I still drove it and paid the price. Ended up getting stranded in a random car park and waiting 4 hours to get my car towed. I returned to the same mechanic and was charged $425 for a new battery lead earth. Came with a shitty craftsmanship. Anyway, lazy work done on the attachment of the cable. You see the bolt is supposed to go inside that little ring, but I guess they were too lazy to find one that fit and just carefully wedged it in place. Fast forward a little bit and I failed my second Waffen and quoted $2 grand in repairs. But fuck that, I'm a hustler, I'm gonna do this shit myself. 1 week later, my car dies while I'm driving and causes me to nearly crash and die. A blown fuse being the cause, minus 250. Anyways, fast forward a bit, la-da-da, I get a service, minus 250 bucks. I need new brake pads, minus 700 bucks. I need a new seatbelt, minus 300 bucks. My power steering broke, minus 300 bucks. I need a new stay bar links to house my WAF, minus 200 bucks. Not to mention extra work on it I did on the car myself, like changing the spark plugs, broken lights, broken boot, tinting the windows, and getting a unnecessary custom exhaust. So random expenses totaling to around $1,000. In the 2.5 years of me owning this car, I spent a total of around $5,000 on it. You heard that right. Split into $3,500 of necessary expenses and $1,000 of unnecessary expenses. I spent many hours on the bus because the car was fucked. So yeah, overall more than what I bought it for. A lot of people seem to be surprised at the amount of money the car cost me, but it's because I kept track of every little single expense. And yeah, because it's a fucking piece of shit V-dub. It was bound to have issues, and anyone with half a brain could have seen this coming. Either way, an old cheap car is going to have problems, whether it's European, Japanese, or whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. Most cars will have issues, and to own a car is costly. Yes, sometimes more than others. And while this car was a headache at times, I always enjoyed driving it. I had a great time in it. It was quick, nice acceleration. It was cool and loud, you know, looked cool. There were fucking multiple times where things were already tricky, you know, broke as hell, and the car just made things worse. I was stuck on the bus for a few weeks. Now you're probably thinking, oh well, that's why you buy a Japanese car that's good on gas. Well, respect to you if you make that decision, but just remember, I will beat it in a 100-meter race up a hill. Don't be a slave to these pendulums and constructs around you, because you don't need them. You can take the bus or walk. I won't say don't buy a V-dub, because I really did learn a lot from this car, and I feel like it made me more of a man. I feel that in the future I can competently handle most issues that you may face with a vehicle, and Yo. This video was originally about me selling my car and how it was a shit car, and I'm glad it's gone. I was planning to sell it. It has been unreliable in the past. I spent a lot of money on it, and I wanted a motorbike. Why, you might ask? Well,
it's the ultimate clunge magnet.
When I really think about it, I just wanted to sell the car for some sort of validation from others. I just got sick of hearing things like, oh, you shouldn't have bought it. Oh, of course, it's European. You've spent so much money on it. Oh, you should just sell it. And let me come clean. I didn't spend 5K on the car. I spent closer to 6. I was just lowballing it, so when I sold the car for 7, I could go around saying, see, it wasn't that much of a loss. In the end, I've decided to keep the car. I thought it was inconvenient to keep the car and fix it, but I came to realize what's more inconvenient is to sell it for a motorbike or another old car just to deal with a whole new set of problems. Ironically, me keeping the car kind of defeats my original intentions with this video, but I guess the new purpose of this video is to give you some hope. You just have to accept that sometimes there are going to be problems you're going to have to solve. After all, what kind of clarity is that of knowing and expecting everything to come in your life? Sometimes we are given issues to deal with them so we can overcome them. What is it they say? As a man, you must suffer.